is your First Alert 5 weather with Alex O'Brien.
Well, we do have a storm system moving into the state tonight, and that will provide us with cooler temperatures, more clouds in the sky, a little bit of moisture, and a lot of wind. So this big dip in the jet stream you see here, it will continue to progress towards the east today. Another wave of energy coming around the bottom by Monday, so we'll have a couple days of pretty active weather across the state. And today we're really talking about the winds cranking up. So when we're looking at satellite and radar right now, the cold front that you see here moving across Nevada, providing some precipitation early this morning, is going to progress towards the east. It will move over Colorado tonight, and it's when it moves over the state when we have the strongest winds in the forecast. So watch as we slowly see these winds progress through the afternoon and then really ramp up by tonight. The forecast for Colorado Springs has gone between 60 and 70 mile-per-hour wind gusts being the peak, but Colorado Springs proper is not even in the high wind warning. So if you are in the high wind warning, you'll probably see up to 80 mile-per-hour wind gusts, and that can certainly do some damage. So this morning, most of our winds are still pretty light, nothing to write home about. Through lunchtime, we'll be more so in the 30, maybe 40 mile-per-hour wind gust range. And then as we head towards dinner time, the eastern plains have a pretty consistent south or southwest wind. And then we're waiting for that cold front to impact the mountains by tonight. So 3 a.m., we're gusting up to 70 miles per hour solid in Rye. And notice where we have these more pink and light colored hues. That's where we get towards 70 and 80 mile per hour wind gusts. And that can do the damage to things like trees, fences, maybe some sheds, any outdoor lawn decorations. So that's definitely something you need to keep in mind. The winds will slowly die down after the front moves through on Sunday morning. So we do have high wind warnings in place, but they don't go into effect until 11 p.m. tonight. So while we will be breezy throughout the bulk of the day, not really getting into that dangerous territory until the overnight hours. We do have a little bit of moisture to work with. We have winter alerts in place, winter weather advisory in purple. That extends into the Sangre De Cristos, and that's where we could see snow over 10,000 feet in elevation. In the San Juans, where we have the winter storm warning in peak, we could see 1 to 2 feet of snow. And that's good for the mountains. Unfortunately, it will eat up a lot of the moisture from the system. So as the front progresses through our area, through the Central Mountains, upper Arkansas River by around midnight, by around 3 a.m. for the I-25 corridor, we could see some light rain, again above 10,000 feet, some light snow, and it's not going to accumulate to much. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a drought buster, especially because we have such strong downsloping winds. A lot of that rain will evaporate. But it will be a gorgeous day until all of that action. It's 56 right now in Colorado Springs, downtown, a few people out and about already this morning. Right now in Pueblo, 41. We haven't received an update from Pueblo in about 30 minutes. I think it's warmer by now. We're seeing those temperatures skyrocket pretty quickly today. I've got 60s, 70s, and 80s on the forecast. We're about 15 degrees above average, so a very warm one, and it will be the last of our unusually warm days. Tonight, we'll drop to the 20s, 30s, and 40s, and then by tomorrow, highs will be in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Warmer weather as you head further east. And as we head into next week, this cool air will really stick around. This storm system will take hold and just keep us back to the 40s in Colorado Springs. Keep in mind the snow or wintry mix possible Monday is going to be pretty light. So I only have an impact 1 out of 5. And keep in mind, I don't really even have an impact for the rain expected overnight because it will be so short-lived and it's not going to do much for at least Colorado Springs and Pueblo. But I do have an impact 1 Sunday and Monday for Canyon City. You can see a little bit of moisture as we cool off with this windy system. And for Woodland Park, cooling from the 60s to the 40s to the 30s, and we'll stay in the 30s all week long.